Hello everyone and welcome back to another video on the Skull Crane Entertainment YouTube channel. It's been a few weeks since I've uploaded, and the last upload I made was actually on a giveaway, so it doesn't really count. It's been about a month now, actually a month from today, since my last upload, and today I'm showing off this Gruesome Granny project I've been working on for months now. Well, technically this was fully working to an extent. I purchased this last, I believe, August, this same Gruesome Granny. And what happened was, she was working, and then she stopped. She was working, I believe, flawlessly. But what happened was the baby's wire to the lights in the eyes disconnected and fried the entire unit. The Tech animatronics specifically are notorious for when a wire comes off and touches another spot where it's not supposed to, the entire unit dies. Most animatronics, if that happens, either nothing would happen, the animatronic turns off, or you only destroy that movement. But this entire unit died. Everything. Even the lights in the eyes of like the characters on their own were dead. Everything. At that point on, it started smoking. It would not work ever again. It was very heartbreaking. After that point, I decided I wanted to sell it as a static, and I knew someone that may be interested locally. So I contacted them, and they came by to check it out. And I mistakenly sold them my other Gruesome Granny that was fully working. And that was for a lump sum of $50. So that was one of my biggest mistakes I have made in my time doing animatronic sales. Definitely a big mistake. I sold a perhaps $200 to $250 worth item, if not more, for $50. And I was stuck with this one. I didn't really realize it until after they had sent me a video of it working, and I had realized I'd given them the wrong one. Now, I'm very generous, and I don't believe in taking items back, even if it was a big mistake. So I told them to keep it. I did not want to take their item back. So I decided to look at this one. And this one, at the time, I just took all the parts out. I harvested all the parts, and it didn't work at all, so I figured I might just scrap the parts and throw everything out. But I was like, you know what? What can I do here? So I went ahead and got to work on a soundboard. So now this one runs on a different soundboard than the ones available on the Skull Crane Animatronics website. It's actually an MP3 board. And I wired up the lights in the baby and the Gruesome Granny after replacing those and hooked them up to that circuit, and it does work really well. It runs on a 4AA battery pack, and then after that I also wanted to get some movement. Now, I knew that mouth movement would be too expensive to program. Head movement wouldn't really be an option because it's very complicated, and the same goes for the head lifting and lowering. So I decided, well, let's do a rocking mechanism. But the rocking mechanism basically has like a jumping spider mechanism to where it moves back and forth. There's no spinning. It simply moves back and forth in the sense that the motor goes two different ways. And this one is no different. It basically is designed to where it goes forward and then it comes backward. And there are springs in there that help lift it back up. But the thing is, it's not easy to make a circuit board like that either. So I knew someone from the Halloween forum who does advanced animatronics. And his name is Jack from Audio Servo Controller. Excuse me. It is Audio Servo Controller. That is audioservocontroller.com. A very, very nice guy, and he helped develop her circuit board, specifically the movement circuit board. The sound was done by myself. But as you can see in her dress here, and I know there's no legs, I didn't put those in, but there is this little LCD panel, and it has the numbers, and I did all the wiring, I did all this stuff. Basically, what Jack provided was this really neat circuit, and what it does is it changes the polarity of the motor every 3 seconds. Now, the timer can be changed, but I like where it is, and it's a really, really cool board, and I know he doesn't sell these publicly, but if you email him, I believe this costed about $40. So a nice custom circuit board right there. It has a 5 volts current both ways and switches the polarity of the motor. I have a animatronic motor in there. That original motor was actually dead from the circuit failure. It might have just been the resistors on it that broke or something, and I didn't really know about resistors at the time. This thing's been running a lot, but I will go ahead and turn this off if you don't mind, guys. But to show you that the mechanism is the exact same. Now, I did move the springs up to more positions. That way it's a little bit more strong, because the motor did have to be a little bit different for it to be work with this circuit, because it has to be a polarity switching motor. You can't just shove a traditional motor in there, because if you do, it won't change polarity. And it has a broken spine girl mechanism. Now, keep in mind, a few months ago, or actually last month, my broken spine girl fell apart, and this was because that gear that you're seeing there, specifically the top one, actually snapped. And the problem is that the weight wasn't being evenly distributed, and she fell apart. So if I would have known that, I probably wouldn't have kept this Gruesome Granny. I would have just scrapped it for that piece. But now you guys know, if you have a broken spine girl with a broken piece, any gear in the mechanism is the same on Gruesome Granny, for the exception of a couple minor changes, but it is pretty much the same mechanism. Now, everything's been hot glued back on, because all this hot glue actually did melt when this was in storage. That's why you may have seen this a few months ago, and now it has been restored to even better looking condition. Now, there is some padding that's missing, but it's not too big of a deal. All of her stuff's been hot glued, and I used good hot glue this time. She looks much better. Very professional looking. Now, there is a red light that flashes, and you may have seen that in there. That's the sound circuit, because it's an MP3 board, not necessarily something I made myself. So it does flash, and it looks cool, but there is a way to turn that off in the event you didn't want that little red light. But it kind of looks cool. It gives more attention to the head. The eyes, again, are synchronized with the audio, although the baby works really well. And then the granny, the lights are a little bit more high voltage. It's a bad way to say it, but they require a little more draw, so unless the sound is really loud, so you notice the little twinkle notes in the song are the ones that kick on the lights. But this is truly one of the coolest tech animatronics ever produced. One of my favorites. Again, I'm really sad that I gave away my other one to that customer, even though I really hope they enjoy it, and they're a very good customer of mine, so I appreciate them, and I'm happy to give them the other one for $50. Well, it makes me happy they were going to enjoy it. I know they will use it for good intentions, and collect it or do what they need to do, but I have this one, and I made the most of it, so I stay positive mental attitude. You can't go back in time, you can only move forward, so I didn't want to pout about losing perhaps $200 and giving away the wrong one, and instead I made this really cool custom and had fun doing it. Now, there are more animatronic repairs being worked on, and even more. And I believe what I'm going to be doing is starting up a new line of videos showcasing my animatronic repairs, and I hope you guys would enjoy those. I know it's been a month since my last upload, but I want to get to work on making more videos. As you can see, lots of friends here in the garage that will be worked on very soon. H2O Michael Myers, Jason Voorhees, Freddy's over there, and it's really incredible. If you have something sent in for repair, my apologies if it takes too long or if it takes longer than normal. I strive to complete all my animatronic repairs as soon as possible and work every single night to do so. But as you can see, there maybe are 24 repair orders right now in the shop, and the shop being my garage. I don't have my own place just yet, but I'm looking forward to getting one very soon. Skullcrane Animatronics store, I'd love to have that happen. With you guys' support of Skullcrane Animatronics, it could very much so happen. I do appreciate it. Visit my website, skullcrane.com. Check out all the animatronics there. If you have an animatronic you need fixing, I definitely recommend you check it out now. That way you get in the line just in case there's a big rush of repairs, which there likely will be come Halloween time. Check out the 3D printed parts to repair your own animatronics. And that's about it. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please like if you enjoy this type of content. I know it's a longer upload, but I do appreciate you sticking around till the very end. Leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts on this. Again, it's not intended to be a perfect Gruesome Granny, but I think it's a very cool custom. Follow me on Facebook. I do post some things about animatronics on there. It's Franco Greasy on Facebook. You can also check me out on Instagram at Skullcrane. And then my personal Instagram, I let people follow me on there too, Franco Greasy as well. But that's about it. Thank you guys so much for watching once again. And as always, happy haunting, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your week. Take care.